Yes, we live. Trizzy Trapa, you already know, threes and trees. We on that revolutionary G shit right now, though, you know? Little niggas and old niggas pay attention. Professor, you know what I mean? Go ahead, so first off, I want to, I be on that Illuminati and that Mason shit hard, so, I'm about to get some intake and some insight from a real knowledgeable brother right here about what's the real biggest threat of humanity.
Alright, yeah, like we were saying, I gotta hold it closer. Alright. The biggest threat right now is to not get trapped, like I said, in that Illuminati, Mason stuff, talk about this, that, and the third, or especially that terrorist shit, and talking about different things that have nothing to do with the point of ignorance. Like, the biggest thing right now that's happening to you is somebody trying to keep you trapped in a certain dimension, which is a certain level and way of thinking. And they're trying to keep you trapped in a system that they got set up for them to benefit and prosper from. You know what I'm saying? And this shit is coming from somebody that's like a lot more serious than the people that we seeing every day. Let's just say it like that. We'll say that for another day, another conversation. But a lot more serious. So right now you got to deal with the immediate threat. And like I said, the number one immediate threat is really distraction. Like everything you see from some rap video or rap battle or something, like, you may think that this shit is random because it seems to be random. You know what I'm saying? It's really not all that random. You know what I mean? Like, is there somebody sitting in a closet pulling all rap battle strings? Nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's fucking retarded. But it's what they're doing is they're actually pulling the strings, but they don't have to do it like that. They do it by setting up in society in the way that the shit functions, like the way that somebody have to act to have a certain appeal or to appear a certain way. So it's the distraction, you know what I mean? They throw a new show on television, and excuse my cold, man, a new show on television, and then we go, everybody's watching it, you know what I'm saying? Like, first you have a football show showing about dudes struggling with up and coming in football, the next thing it's called a game, the next thing you know, that shit turned into fucking soft porn. You know what I'm saying? Damn near. Like that's all we looking at is a bunch of cheating, fucking, you know what I'm saying, sucking some rich dude, loving some rich dude, or whatever. Like, it's all distraction. A show full of chicks arguing. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas is like, his reality show, and like I said, I read Hulk Hogan's autobiography, and he told ain't none of that reality, it's all scripted. You know what I'm saying? Like, they come to the house and give you fake scenarios. So it's like, none of that is even, you watch these people go through this shit, and none of this shit is even real, but you really be thinking, that shit's real, like...
Some white girl said that shit that was on one of their reality shows like that, like how, like, fucking, like Bad Girls Club shit like that, bitch Offset said the shit like, nigga, basically signing a contract.
To act.
Yeah.
To be an actor or an actress. Like, that's what I said, if you watch a reality show, you can't even knock people that watch wrestling because that's what you watching.
Yeah.
You fucking watching it's wrestling. Wrestling is entertaining. People watch wrestling because they like seeing guys get slammed or whatever. I watch it. I know it's fake. I know, you know what I'm saying. Undertaker doesn't hate John Cena. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know they fucking hang out together probably. But the whole kicker is, motherfuckers anybody who would watch something like that as it being real. You know what I'm saying? That's where the problem is. That's where the biggest threat is. Like, anybody that's living in this life and thinking that it's real, that's where the threat is. You thinking something that's not real is real, and not realizing your power to think that and make it seem real is what's keeping it real. So the biggest threat is ignorance. You know what I'm saying? Like, once we get rid of that ignorance and come into the age that we in of knowledge, Aquarius, come out of that belief shit, that's what's going to keep shit real. Like, knowing that when you see Lord in the Bible, that it's not talking about one Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like, you take in Genesis, I think it's chapter 6, when it starts talking about Noah. I was telling you how the dude is real, the ancient one of the ancient names for the guy who actually lived through it, his name was Shudra. And the nigga was, he was a favorite of the Lord God. You know what I'm saying? And this Lord God was Enki, or the Lord of the heaven and the earth, or whatever, or the earth and the waters, or whatever. Lord of earth, basically. Enki. And he was like a favorite of him. You know what I'm saying? So he told him about incoming flood that was coming when when the Nibiru, that planet Nibiru was passing through, and it was going to pull, the gravitational pull was pulling so sharp and so much that it was causing a huge flood to the land. So the Lord gods knew this shit. They knew this shit, so they didn't fucking one of them, who was actually the head prince and the head command, was like, yeah, the head lord at the time, not necessarily head, but in a ranking sense, he would have been like the highest rank. And he was like, it's Enki's brother. His name was Enlil. And he was like, nah, we're not going to tell mankind. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the Bible, it says it as, and he says, and he despised the evilness of the man, or that every thought of the man was evil, and so the Lord despised him, and he was going to destroy him, whatever. Like I said, he's not going to literally destroy him. He was going to destroy him by like not telling him that a fucking tidal wave flood was coming. Yeah. That's how he was going to destroy him. And the other dude, his brother, the other Lord, when you scroll down in that same chapter, it's talking about one Lord talking about that, destroying the man, basically, and another Lord talking about the man that's taken Noah had took favor in the sight of the Lord. It's talking about two different Lords, but we reading it and believing and thinking that it's one Lord. Like, you know, is not realizing the Lords that's missing. Like in the book of Joshua, it will tell you, isn't this written in the wars of the Lords? That apparently tells you there's more than one Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, all that one Lord stuff, or it's literal and metaphorical. It's literal and metaphorical at times, because it just depends on the usage and what the person or whoever is writing it is trying to convey. That's another problem we have dealing with this ignorance. Like, we don't read properly. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't read something trying to feel and receive what the writer is trying to convey to you. Like, you read it based off of who's talking about theology. You know what I'm saying? Like, I read the Bible, like if I show you what I show you about the serpent, you know what I'm saying? And you be like, nah, the serpent was just testing, God was just testing. That's your opinion. Yeah. That's not what the information says in this fucking book says. Like, your opinion, and your opinion is not what I'm asking you for. You see what I'm saying? Like, so that's where we be fucking up again, like thinking our opinion means something. Like, I mean, it does, man. It really does, man. But it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, it does in a sense like we sitting in this fucking kitchen and we like, alright, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel for real, man, that if Dwight go to Boston, we're going to win the title next year. And you like, nah, man, Lakers got a good coach and they still got, everybody's healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we're talking opinion talk. Even if we're in here just talking, building up on, yo, man, do you really actually think that the woman knew what she was doing when she started changing into a man, or did she purposely change into a man, or was it time for, you know what I'm saying, blah, blah, blah. Like, just, we can share our opinions on that and not have to give historical facts or evidence because we about too deep into it because we just talk about opinions. But when you start living off of opinion like it's a fact, and you start reading like some bullshit that's put together that's really a myth, but you read the myth like it's a textbook, and you read the text that you're supposed to read as text, the literature, the truth, as a myth. You see what I'm saying? Like, you've been trained to think that salt is sugar and sugar is salt. Like, and you don't see no difference at all. Like, that's the type of society you got to worry about. That's the type of shit that we're going through, that we're living under. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest threat. So all that terrorism, am I going to get blown up when I go to Arby's or fucking Burger King or some dumb shit, wherever you motherfuckers go? Like, nah, all that shit is a train to keep you away from focusing on who you are. You know what I'm saying? That's all there is to it. There ain't nothing more to it than that, man, except to keep you in darkness. They don't need. Yeah, like the moment you know who you are, this shit begins to end. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, the biggest thing is for women because they're the original.